You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. Got it. All right, Facebook, can you see us? I think we're live. Yay!
We're live.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Heal Profoundly and Enduringly. I'm so excited I know some of you caught the sneak peek episode with Daisy Farrell a couple weeks ago, but this is the official launch, the official premiere episode with Steph Zito for Heal. And I'm so excited because we're going to be going live every Monday. I'm going to have a different guest on. And really what this is about is bringing forward all of those off the beaten pathways for you to heal at your deepest level. And I want to learn too, because I want to learn how to heal deeper and deeper and deeper as time goes on. So each episode is going to leave you with tangible tools that you can implement right away. And we're going to start today with Steph, who is an intuitive soul purpose coach and speaker. And she helps people across the globe discover and realize their best lives with purpose and passion. Welcome, Steph.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. I'm just tagging a few friends who wanted to join us.
Go for it. Go tag, and I'll still talk about, I'll tell people who I am for those people who don't know who I am. My name's Laura Mazzata, and I am an Akashic healer and alchemist, a Reiki master, and a therapist of 20 years. And it is my mission to assist people with healing as deeply and enduringly as possible using the efficiency of the Akashic records. So that's why I put this together, because I just want to keep gathering more and more tools for people, because not everything works for everyone. So it's great to be able to build your toolbox with people that I know and trust. And if you trust me, then you know you can trust them, because it can be hard in the online space too, when you're feeling like I need some support or help. And now you know where to go, right? We're connecting you to a nice network and soul family of people. So today, Steph's going to be talking to us about making deposits in the manifesting bank, belief, action, and raising the vibration. So what does that mean?
What does that mean?
What is the manifesting bank? Tell me, I want to know.
All right. Well, what's so great too is I was just listening to your podcast and you were talking about money and our relationship with money. Yeah, which is so great. And so it's so interesting, you know, as we sort of develop and evolve with our relationships with money, and we hear these things, and at some point, you know, depending on how you were raised or what ideas you have around money, we all seem to like carry these like really deep rooted beliefs and feelings and experiences, right? From our parents and our ancestors and everything. So the manifesting bank is literally the universe. When we want to manifest something and we are specific with it and we believe it and we put it out to the universe, it's like we are putting money, like tangible, I wish I had $1 right here, like tangible money into the bank. But I want us to really pay attention to this, because the thing about wealth, the thing about abundance is that abundance is not trading dollars for hours. You don't go to your job and you get your paycheck and then you spend it and you're on this hamster wheel cycle, right? Like, yeah, abundance, manifesting is this and something better. Like there are things out there we don't even know yet that are ready to come our way when we connect with that manifesting bank, because it's not just the deposit, it's the investment. And what is really important about this is actually, like, there's some things I want to talk about the investment part, but I just want to start with that, which is with that real good visual of like when you are putting that information out there, it's like you literally own it. Like you can now go to that bank and receive that. Like what if it actually felt as simple as that?
That would be so nice. I'm sure people are saying, how do I make it as simple as that?
Well, in my experience and what I've noticed, and this is, you know, as I've developed my intuition, I am an intuitive coach, is that the more I have surrendered, said yes to the intuitive nudges, and I see you nodding, the more I have been able to get my dividends from the manifesting bank, because I am connected on that wavelength, on that frequency with abundance, with receiving. Everything is an energy. We are literally made of energy and light. We are made of that. We feel so dense, and I have the skin and everything, but like literally everything is tuning into different frequencies. So if I have two vibrations going on, you know, when you hear music and it's out of tune, if I'm like, I want to tune to the money, I want to tune to the receiving, whatever that looks like. And I have this other tune going on, like, but I don't deserve it, and somebody's better than me, and it's gonna ruin my life if I actually get this. Like, well, guess what? Like, it's like we literally have these antennas. They're tuning into these different radio stations, and if I'm trying to listen and connect to this one station, but also playing this other station, it's confusing. The universe, the manifesting bank is like, well, what do you, I don't know, what do you want? What do you want? Like, you need to tell me specifically what you want, and you need to believe that you can receive it. This is why, like, the karmic stuff, I know you do this work, I do this work, we have to get it out of the way. We have to work with it. Whatever that jam is that it looks like for you, like, we have to. Otherwise, those things are the things that will show up, because it's what our soul needs to learn so that we can receive.
Yeah, and it's bringing all those things online with one another, right? It's that all these antennae are kind of going different directions, and it's just bringing all layers of your being online with the concept of abundance, with the frequency and the vibration of whatever it is you desire or are calling in, right?
Yeah, right. It's like, I kind of like this analogy. I just did this recently on an Insight Timer Live. It's like taking all these sort of, if you think of like these wires, and they're kind of frayed, like when you need to redo the electric wiring in a house, like there's all these, we're just going to bring them all into this nice bundle together. We're just going to kind of bring it all together to synthesize it, so that, as we're doing the work, it's like you're tuning the guitar. Like, you can still have those things, you can still have those beliefs, but through repetition and through repetitively recognizing it and retuning that frequency. And it can take that, like, I'm going to retune. This is where I am. That's why we do the visuals. That's why we say the mantras, we do the numbers work, whatever it is that is your tool. There's so many tools, we connect with certain tools. So we connect with those tools so that we can kind of get these dividends from the manifesting bank. And I say dividends because it's not just this one-to-one ratio. Like, when we put it into that bank, we're earning this interest. Like think about someone who, I live in Southern California. People bought houses out here maybe 20 years ago for like 40 grand. And those are worth like $2 million. You're going to tell me they didn't like put some dividends in the manifesting bank? So it's when we get clear with that intuition specifically, and we start saying yes to things that can feel scary, because they're bigger than the energy and the frequency we may be holding. It's like saying yes to investing in a coach. It's saying yes to a certain program. It's investing in your business in some way, or putting yourself out there, or you're in a job that you actually hate and feels toxic. And you're like, you know what? I believe that thing that I really want on the other side that's better for me, it's true. It is on the other side, and it's better for me. And I get to have that. The universe like wants that for me. I have to say yes.
Yeah.
So
and what you're really saying yes to is trust, right? Like, you're saying yes to trust in yourself, trust in the universe, trust in yourself as an agent of the universe, an agent of service, right? And so that can be really challenging for people, especially when they're starting this process, because it feels like you're trusting in the unseen, the unknown, the unguaranteed. But as you get to know the universe more and more, you know that everything's a guarantee. And that if it doesn't unfold exactly as you identified, you're still getting the vibration of what it is you wanted to call in. And I love what you were talking about too, with like, getting a much larger return on your investment, right? Your energetic investment. And I love thinking about this in terms of love. Obviously this applies to money. And honestly, it applies to an abundance of anything abundance of health. But I love thinking about it that way, because I've seen that so beautifully in my own life, that like, as you put that trust, like if you're going to go flip out on somebody in your family, or you're upset or something's going on, that you say to yourself, you know what, like, I'm going to return to love. Like, I'm going to choose to return to love instead. And you're trusting that things are going to unfold in a way that allows that to heal, to create more ease in the situation or whatever. And it's unbelievable how much love comes back to you exponentially
Mhm.
when you give with that intention,
You
really.
know why? Because all these things we're talking about, they all line up. Like the universe is expansive. It's constantly in expansion, right? Love is the same. It's expansive, right? So all these things we're talking about, they're all expansive. And the thing to me about this, when I talk about intuition, is that it gives us a sovereignty. When I talk about, we can wealth abundance, it's for so many things. It may be money, it may be something else, it may be love, the love of your life, whatever that is, right? Like it's the sovereignty of it. And what I mean by that is we have sort of been in this earthly lifetime that we chose to come into. We have this sort of idea of culture, of how things go, of how things are supposed to be, right? It's like sort of this programming, the script that's running. So I wear these clothes because I'm not living in the 17th century. And if I showed up with some Peigne things, it might look a little different.
Right, right.
And if that's my jam, great. But I wear this because I go get it at the store. It's what's available. But by the same token, like, well, what programs are we running about, and we say this to ourselves, well, if I step into this, these people won't like me. It's like we're looking socially for how we're going to be accepted and how it's going to look and how it's going to go. So the thing is, when we have sovereignty, when we are in our intuition, and even working with a coach, we trust me, there's people who know a lot that I don't know, and so I have coaches for that reason,
Right.
because I benefit from that knowledge that goes before me. So by the same token, like I have sovereignty, like I check in with my intuition, and you probably noticed this too when I started doing that. And this is the other thing about the manifesting bank, is what I invest in myself. When I say yes to things that feel like, and trust me, everyone's different. Like I don't need a Fendi purse. If you do, that's great. But for me, it's like singing bowls or
Yes.
or an experience with like a book writing workshop. Like I want to invest in, and when I do that, I find it comes back to me like tenfold. It's like I invest in that bank and I get those dividends because I am saying yes. I am saying yes expansively. I'm not looking at like, oh, I'll do this and nothing will come from it, even love or frequency or whatever that might look like. I'm doing this because, it's going to bring that expansion. Like there's more to my life than this moment. Like there's more I'm going to do with this from here forward.
This is so cool too, because my husband and I were actually talking about this yesterday or the day before. And we were talking about just like the concept of wealth and the shame that can come with being wealthy. And he was just like, yeah, I don't have shame around it. And I said, you know what? I really don't either. There's still, I think that there's still some tiny little energetic cords connected to my ancestral line. I've been working on that over time because there's a lot of, I guess you could say, dis-ease or distortions within my ancestry around wealth. But it was really interesting because we were talking about this concept of shame. And it was like, we're such givers naturally, both of us, and it's so funny because I'm like, think about my father who was always giving to the church and then giving to this charity and that charity. And he had a very planned, organized way of giving back, which was beautiful. That was his way of when he would bring in his income, he would give a portion to somebody in need. Love that. And so I said to my husband, I was like, we don't do it that way. We don't sit down and like plan it out, but we're constantly giving just automatically, just because it's who we are, Right. So it's like, we know automatically that when you know that your intentions are pure and that you're coming from a heart-centered space and that your intention is not just about fueling your life and your experience. And like you said, it's expansive. It's a no-brainer that you're going to assist other people. It's a no-brainer that this is collaborative energy when we receive money, and it goes wherever we need it to go at the time. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, and what I wanted to say about that is that I think this is why it's so important to have this conversation, especially with people who are empaths, who are soul-led, who want to do good work in the world, because there can be this discrepancy between feeling like I'm a good person, I want to do good work in the world, and I can have abundance and wealth. And sometimes it can seem like those two thoughts or feelings clash with one another, but that's not the truth, because manifesting doesn't rely on you being a good person. We know many very wealthy people in the world who are not doing necessarily the best work for humanity. And that's kind of irrelevant, because if you are a good person and you know you do good work in the world, money will never change that. In fact, it will amplify. What does anything we do? It amplifies. Like when we are manifesting, we are amplifying. It's like you're shouting it from the rooftops. So if you have some money to shout your thing from the rooftops, like guess how much more goodness you're going to bring into the world, just like you're talking about. And it's not tied to that at all. You know, you could manifest and you could like not give a dime to anyone, and it would still happen. But, you know, the fact that you are that person, like, thank you, because we definitely need, that's the vibration that we are rising towards. To me,
right. And how you can bring your mind on board with it to release the guilt and the shame and all of that, because that's one of the things that gets in the way of having all of these things in line, be able to bring in any desire. So it's like, you know, if you have some of that ancestral stuff that's in the way, or some of those beliefs that are in the way, right? It's being able to determine for yourself how to bring those online so that you can match what's coming to you already, because it's already in your field.
Right. Well, I really like working with NLP. In fact, I'm getting certified in it. So there's some things that I know, I'm so excited. So see, investing again, it's like, it's so fun to learn and to grow and to bring this stuff in. So I have an NLP belief creator, an exercise to bring that belief into the same zone. That's like, I know this is my phone. Like, it's so obvious. It's like the same thing. We can bring that belief of what we do want into that zone. The thing is like, we have these sort of like energetic hooks in us. You know, we have these sort of energetic hooks in us from ancestry, from past lives, from whatever. And so, you know, it might be tapping, it might be like I'm talking about this NLP, but what I've really noticed is when we can sort of identify it, like when we know it, when we see it, things that are not seen can keep working in the underground without us really even being aware. But when we have that awareness, like the gremlins, like I have imposter syndrome, like, oh, that, you know, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, I can't start doing this yet. Other people can have that, but I can't have that. Comparisonitis, like whatever your, you know, the fear, whatever your thing is, when you recognize it, I like to have a little fun with this one, is just to kind of like give it a name, to give it like a little like embodiment, like it could be a cute little Pikachu. It's just this little thing, like be a little pug. Could be like, it's actually trying to help us. It's trying to help us what? Keep us safe. And our bodies, our DNA, they want to keep us sort of safe, because in our past, when we had things like predators, like saber-toothed tigers, that energy actually really helped us in a sense. Like when we were part of the tribe and not doing crazy stuff outside of the tribe, we weren't going to get kicked out into the cold where some tiger was going to get us. So there's like this sort of imprint in our DNA towards that. So it's why it's so normal to kind of experience that stuff. But when we can even just take a moment, like think of one thing and just give it like a cute little name, a cute little face, and just go give it something to do. Like literally, like you're gonna go play on this iPad, you're gonna go knit this sweater. I got some work for you over here. It's like that kid in the classroom that's like, so busy. Just, you gotta give them like, oh, you count the papers for everybody. Like just give them something to do. And then it's busy. Like your mind literally takes it outside of the body. We literally are like, okay, here we go. Now it exists out here. I can see it. I have the bird's eye view on it. I don't have to embody it because it's out here. I am over here doing my thing, recalibrating to my frequency of what I do desire.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that so much. And I love NLP. And we actually have someone asking what NLP is, which is neuro-linguistic programming. So can you just explain that in a sentence or so?
Yeah, it's pretty much neuro-linguistic programming. This is like a little computer, the prefrontal cortex part. Little computer wants to run programs. It wants to run the scripts that we've told it, or it was told to us over and over and over again, whatever that is, even the negative stuff. So neuro-linguistic programming just reprograms the computer. It reprograms it through images and through words, and it's really effective. and I love it.
So effective. It's a fantastic modality. I'm so excited for you that you're certified. Yay!
Yay.
Yeah. So, what do you recommend for people who are saying, I love this information, but I don't exactly know how to bring all of those things in line? We've shared a couple of tools and tips here, but what would you recommend for somebody to ground themselves in safety at the same time that they're bringing these few things, these few layers of themselves online with the frequency of abundance?
Yeah, I mean, there's three things I usually honestly start out with this with every coaching client, because to me, it's such a beautiful baseline. Is the first step I really love is just starting with a commitment to yourself. It's like an embodiment. It's like a full body. You know what? All this stuff might be going on. I might be in this really horrible relationship right now. I might be in this crazy job and I'm feeling anxious, knowing that I want this other stuff, but I'm like, I don't know how to get there. And all it does is bring me more anxiety. So just start with, what am I a commitment to? Like this big umbrella. Am I in commitment to loving myself? And that means that getting out of this job actually is loving me. Am I a commitment to just seeing myself? Am I a commitment to my vibrant health? Yes, even health things. We don't have to imprint that we are them. People change that frequency, that vibration all the time through this type of work. Like I know you know this, Laura. So yeah, so I am a commitment to, and just feeling into that, like note. And then secondly, just noticing like what your body is feeling. And on Insight Timer, I have a meditation on a body scan. If you do this like every day, if you do this 3 days a week, like what am I actually holding in my body right now? Am I anxious, holding in my jaw? Am I feeling kind of that bubbly anxiety in my heart space? Am I feeling some weird stuff in my belly? Am I holding my hips really tight? Is there some woodenness in my back body? And I can see, Laura, you're doing this right now. So I'm curious what you're noticing as you go through this.
Yeah, it was interesting because I noticed that I was holding some tension in my jaw.
Yeah, that's my go-to spot too.
Yep. I was like,
yeah,
Sesame feels pretty good today, but I was funny. As soon as in the jaw, I was like, oh, she called me out.
Well, the interesting thing about that is that when we start to notice it, then we don't have to be it. Whatever our body is trying to help us with, like, oh, I'm going to hold my jaw because I'm so anxious about this. Like, well, no, I'm not even telling us to release it right now. I'm just telling us to notice it without, it's not wrong, it's not right. I'm just experiencing it. And there's so much wisdom in those body parts that are going to help us tap into our intuition. If I can say, oh, I've got tension in my jaw, then I know I've been mindlessly carrying around this extra stress all day around whatever, some business deal, whatever that might be. It's the way my coworker's gonna talk to me, whatever that is. Okay, do I choose to release this? That's a beautiful first step towards choosing towards your higher self, choosing towards your commitment to yourself. And then the tool that I love the most is this vision casting process.
Yes.
And I like to offer really simple stuff like that we can just go ahead and freaking do because like when you start to do these little things, they help so much. So vision casting, super simple. When you start your day and you look at your tasks for the day, sometimes we just mindly bust into it and we're checking our phone and we're already out of our frequency. We're already out of our alignment because we're thinking about the kids and the lunch and getting them to school. And then I got this meeting and this is happening. And then I got to talk to this coworker who's toxic. So wait a second, let's just take a moment just to put the brakes on and just first thing, get your coffee and then a vision cast. And what it looks like is, and this is the baseline of manifesting, just write the task down super quick and then write down what frequency do you want any specific thing to go? Like, how do you want that to go? Making the school lunches, having a meeting, whatever it is, and write it in the present tense with the emotion. Like showing up for this podcast, I happily show up for this podcast to deliver messages that will benefit people for their highest good. So I'm not just like running in here. I mean, we've got people putting in a third driveway outside right now. So, so I could be like scrambling and like, all like freaked out because there's noise in the background. But like, what do I choose? What's going to be benefiting me? It's going to show up like that. And just like I mentioned, because we're programming this computer, if I go to that place of anxiety or annoyance because there's noise, my program is like, no, this morning you said this, you were going to happily show up to serve. And your program wants to go right back to that because it's a program, it's a script. You can do that with everything. You can do that with client calls, you can do that with everything.
I love that. And it's funny because I started this practice when I was first working with gratitude, way at the beginning of like, being thankful for what I ideally desire as if it's already there, because it is energetically. And then it's true. When you do that in the morning, this is why people pull oracle cards in the morning, or tarot cards, or intention cards in the morning. By the way, Steph has a really fabulous deck called.
Yes, I got my card right here.
Oh my gosh, show it. Oh, see, I celebrate my uniqueness. They are so beautiful. And I told her, I was like, literally, when I one of these cards, it feels like I'm getting a giant hug from you. It makes me feel like they're so intimate. Like they feel so intimate. And like when I pull them, I just feel so warm and fuzzy and like I'm getting a big hug. So definitely check into those. And that's the thing. You can pull a card in the morning too, especially if you're somebody who has more trouble with the linguistic part and you prefer images.
Yeah.
Some people will pull a card in the morning and then they'll kind of imprint that image by staring at it for 30 seconds, or like getting into that space of taking a few deep breaths where your parasympathetic nervous system is activated. You're more relaxed, you're more receptive, and you just allow the codes of whatever image is on this card to be internalized into your subconscious mind so that you get those same kind of reminders throughout the day. Like Steph was saying, hey, don't forget, this is what your intention was this morning. Don't forget, this is what you're being called to today.
Yeah, and it's helped. Yeah, thank you. It's even helped me when I've taken this card and I've put it like right by my computer when I'm working. It helps me stay focused. It helps me actually like get done what I set out to do with that reminder, whatever that is that was meant to come through that day.
Yeah, I love that so much. Oh, thank you. So guys, let us know in the comments if there is anything that you have questions about around this. I want to ask Steph a couple more questions before we close up today. So one of the questions is, what do you do when you want to believe that you can do or have something, but you keep getting so afraid? Now you've answered this some already, right? But I want to just give a direct answer to this because I think there's some people who, when they do get lost in the, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid and I'm so doubtful, and you're kind of stuck in the mind game and the hamster wheel, you want that one thing to just click you out.
Yeah. So go back to your commitment to yourself. Go back to your big picture, because that picture comes from love. Like if my big picture is to retire my husband and I'm afraid to get on a client call, what's going to override that? It's going to be my love. It's going to be, I am coming from love.
I love that so much. And I love you so much. See, I love you so much, because that's so perfect. That's exactly what I do. It's like always keeping an eye on your bigger vision, your bigger purpose, because it's so easy to get caught up in the details of being a human. Just like the day-to-day implementing things and communicating with your mind. I like to say that instead of your mind communicating to you, because it's a co-creation. You're not dismissing your mind entirely, but you're working together. So I love that. That's beautiful, because that higher perspective keeps asking you, does this support the life I'm trying to create?
What would love do? What would love do? Just starting there, because I think of like that fear is just trying to keep us safe,
Did you see your kitty just pop out from behind that plant?
Oh no, I may have to move that plant. I was going to tell you, 6 o'clock this morning, she was like, wow, because she got her head stuck in my daughter's like bag, this like little loop, and she was running around crazy.
She's so cute. See, the energy is just so strong. She desires to be in her.
I know.
All right, beautiful. So one more question for you here, honey. What is the one thing that you believe is required to heal the most profoundly and enduringly?
Oh, that's such a great question. I think it just goes back to self-love. It goes back to self-love because that self-love is so expansive. And I know that might feel like something really big, or how do I do that? And for me, it's been a personal journey, and that's why I say it for myself. Um,
I know, I'm worried about your cat.
okay, no. And one thing that I used to do, and I don't have something on right now, but I can always have something on, is to anchor something anchor in that love. Like I've got, yeah. So this is also kind of an NLP thing, like your anchor. Like if I'm going into an interview and I'm feeling really nervous, well, what am I coming back to? If I trust, if I have love, I know that any experience will be for my highest good, even those ones that feel hard, or they're not what I wanted, or I wanted that job and I didn't get it. Well, guess what? It's because the universe is clearing the way for something better. Or you're going to go through something hard as a lesson, as a soul lesson, so that you can come to the other side, just understanding like what that was for you. Like there's things that I know now because of what I went through, that if I hadn't gone through, I might be in the same place. I don't even know. I personally needed to go like so far away to come back. So if I anchor in even that one word, like today, let's say I'm like worried about people are going to think I'm quirky, crazy. Okay, I celebrate my uniqueness. I'm just going to anchor that in. I'm going to anchor that in. When I touch this, I know that. And just like you talked about the parasympathetic nervous system, when we have these physical things like breathing, or like when we touch something, it actually brings us back into that calmer state.
That's so beautiful. That's why I love crystals. That's why I love crystals, because you're able to program them. You're able to house whatever it is you desire within them.
And they magnify, they amplify it.
Magnify, exactly. And the anchor, that's one of my favorite words ever. When I take people into the Akashic records and the meditation, we anchor our energy into Mother Earth. We anchor our energy into the Akasha, that you really feel very stabilized and like you're not out there in space by yourself.
Yeah, you've got to anchor to the earth first, so you come back.
That's so beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being part of this today. And I would love for you to share how people can get in touch with you. I know that we already shared the link to your chakra deck and insight timer, since we chatted about those already, but where can people find you? What do you have coming up that people can connect with you in?
Yeah, well, I'm really excited. We talked about intuition, to me being the #1 path towards manifesting. And on Thursday, we're starting a new 6-week intuition course. So I'm so excited for anyone who's listening from yours to join. And I'd like to offer them a free a complimentary 30-minute session with me if they sign up. So yeah, so we've got that intuition course coming up. We're going to really go through the 4 clairs to really understand. I mean, you might be able to communicate with your cat. I bet you can.
Oh yeah, you definitely can.
Your clairaudience, like, what am I hearing? A lot of times, like, things are happening and we're just not believing it. We're not like actually believing that's really our intuition or our guides, and it is, and we can miss stuff. And so like when we anchor in with, okay, I know this is my clairaudience, I'm hearing this, or this is my clairvoyance, I am seeing this is my clairsentience, I am getting those chills right now for a reason, or my claircognizance, like I just know. And then when we say yes to that, that's where we start to kind of amplify and quicken these experiences towards what we truly do desire, and our souls are here for.
Yeah, that's how you shorten the timeline.
Yes, there you go.
Get to your desires faster, which is
Quantum leap.
Yeah, I love that. So everyone who is here with us live, please feel free to leave your favorite takeaway from today, so that other people, especially those who are jumping on late or who are watching or hearing this on the replay, you have the opportunity to remind them where they can place their focus and intention and their anchor for the day or for moving forward. So thank you again for being
You're so welcome. Thank you. Oh my gosh, such a pleasure. Congratulations on your premiere episode.
I know, this is so fun, because I had a show a couple of years ago And I loved it, but it didn't align for a period of time. And then this kept coming forward, and it kept coming more strongly and more strongly. And I was like, okay, I have a list of about 30 people that I desire to bring on just at the start to be able to offer these healing tools to people, because it can be challenging to navigate the energy world and the universal world for the first time. And even if you've been in it for a while, if you're in a rut or if you're feeling a little lost or stuck, to get some of these reminders. So I really appreciate all the tools and tips that you've given everyone today.
Welcome.
For any of you who would like to connect with me, I currently have a free 10-minute Power of Connection call. This is really just an opportunity for us to get an idea of what your goals are and where you're going personally or professionally. And I can shoot right to the core and let you know the next steps that you need to take. And maybe one of those next steps will be Steph's course, who knows? But let me know. My team's gonna put a link in the comments. So if you guys wanna chat for 10 minutes, you can snatch that up. And keep your eyes peeled, because I am going to be live here again next Monday at the same time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And I will be posting more details about that show shortly. So keep your eyes peeled. Thanks so much for joining us, and I'll see you soon. Bye.